Happy Friday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroy Nation. We are coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Friday to you and you. And happy first day of spring and you, to you and you and you and you and you and you. Not you, though. Definitely not you. Never you. We never want you crazy left-wing nut job, to have a good day and a happy Friday. Oh, I'm only kidding. We want everybody to have a happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy first day of spring. The great pollination has begun. There's pollen everywhere, including invading my sinuses. It's been one heck of an allergy season, one heck of a start to allergy season. Happens every year, happens every year. But this year, I think Israel's responsible for the pollen. I'm just gonna say it because someone's gotta. I wanted to beat Owen Schroyer to the punch before he started to blame the allergies on the Jews. I wanted to be first. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be first. All right, we are watching SCOTUS blog this morning. Possible rumor I saw floating around online, maybe getting a decision on the Voting Rights Act today. So we'll have SCOTUS blog open, and we'll see if that opinion comes out. It was the rumor, so I figure we'll just, we'll have SCOTUS blog open to see if a ruling does come out. Boy, are the outrage addicts mad at your boy today. Holy smokes, did they go crazy. Because, it was funny. I found there was another user. I don't remember who it was. But there was a user on X posted a screenshot to an article. I didn't know if it was real or not. But then I wound up finding out that it was real. And that you ever see the memes from that page, AIPAC Tracker? Guys ever see that? You guys ever see that? Where they track how many politicians get money from AIPAC as if that's some sort of bad thing. And it's only AIPAC that they care about, by the way. They don't care about any other PAC, even though AIPAC is 73rd on the list of lobbying. 73rd. So there are 72 other political action committees that do more lobbying than AIPAC that these people don't care about. They don't care. But I posted this yesterday. It was a screen grab from this article that the founder of AIPAC Tracker is actually a far left, a self-identified Marxist in Germany. So all these people, America first. We don't want foreign influence in American politics. And yet, they're using a website. They're taking the word as gospel from a far left, self-identifying Marxist from Germany in the name of America First. And so I point that out. And you get these people, the outrage addicts, going, attack the information, not the source. All you people do, I started getting really mad about this last night. Like, it's really annoying. All these people do, the Groypers, the woke right, all they do, if you say something that they disagree with, what is the first thing they do? They do not attack the information. They attack the person. But when you do the same thing back to them, they're like, we'll refute what they're saying. You call anybody you disagree with a Jew, regardless of whether or not they're Jewish. The other thing about these outrage addicts that I started, really, this is where I'm going to be going with these people, okay? Because I was listening to Dan Bongino yesterday, as I do every day, and he brought up something called the hidden knowledge scam. And this is why I love listening to his show, because he's able to put this in ways that make sense to me, and we can make it make sense with each other. The hidden knowledge scam, which is essentially these grifters, the doomers, the pod bros, and all them pretend to have some sort of hidden secret knowledge and information, right? That they have that nobody else has, right? And they say, oh, well, it's because of the information that I have that I believe what I believe. Okay, then share the information. Well, I don't actually have it. I'm just asking questions. Okay, so you're full of crap then. All right. So the hidden knowledge scam, and this is what they do. Every time I post about, so for example, we're going to go over this today. Kash Patel testified in front of one of the committees in Congress, House, Senate, whatever it was, that there was a 490% surge in arrests of online child predators. You would think that's a good thing, right? A 490% increase in arrests of online child predators. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That means more online child predators are being arrested now than before by a factor of about 5, right? Which is a good thing, that we're getting these people off the internet, away from your children, and holding them accountable. And what I get is, yeah, but not one Epstein pedophile has been arrested. Okay, so Mr. or Mrs. Hidden Knowledge, if you think somebody in the Epstein files should be arrested, I ask for 2 things when I see this response. 2 things. Who do you want arrested? Like, give me a name. Don't just say, there's no arrests. Give me a name of somebody who you want arrested. On what charges? And share the evidence that you believe exists that would lead to a conviction. And not a single person, not one person is able to do that. I get the excuse, well, it's not my job to get the evidence. You're saying you want somebody arrested. I don't know. Are we just going to trample on everyone's constitutional rights here? Folks, I believe horrible things happened in the Epstein case. Horrible things that nobody should ever have to endure. But the way it works in this country is everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and vague online theories like, well, so-and-so said that they were talking about beef jerky, which is a code word for little girls. It might be, but can you prove that in court? Because your opinions don't necessarily lead to convictions, okay? And a lot of people, and this is the way it goes online, will overload you with information, right? They will throw pages upon pages, just tons of stuff at you. They will overload you with info. They haven't verified the info, but they will overload you with information. You will go through the information as if what you are reading has been confirmed, factual, it's real, it's verified. You will come out of that information dump and overload feeling a certain way about what you read because you think what you're reading is the verified truth without there being enough facts for you to, if this was done in a vacuum, logically conclude that this is the verified truth. And this is the problem, right? So again, I would love to see some of the bad actors in Epstein's group held accountable. But when I simply ask, because we live in a constitutional republic where evidence is required in a court of law before a jury, and if the evidence proves beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed the crime that he or she is being accused of, then the jury can render a guilty verdict. If you don't have the evidence, you can't just arrest somebody because you think they might have done something and you don't like them. Thank you, Murtech, for the raid. We appreciate it. That's 2 days in a row from Murtech. So appreciate you, Murtech, for the raid. Guys, I'm asking this now, and I'm not doing it because I don't think stuff didn't happen. I'm saying if you are going to make the accusation that somebody ate a child, which is what they're doing now, cannibalism, you better have some evidence that I can look at and go, all right, I'm sold. Because if it's just your opinion or like, oh, well, there's a vague theory that the word pizza in an email might mean that somebody was eating a kid, well, if you just start arresting people, what? Are you going to arrest everybody who says the word pizza in an email? Because it might mean something, that might mean something, that might mean there was cannibalistic things happening. And finally, to the grifter class, the podcast bros, the outrage addicts, the people who can't stop being miserable all day long. It seems like those people think they know more than the administration, and they might. Then share the information and stop saying, whoa, I'm just asking questions, man. Well, no, you're not. You're making statements. You're saying nothing is happening, which implies that you think something should be happening, and you're implying that you think something should be happening because you believe enough information exists to make something happen. So share it! Or get off your ass and work for the Department of Justice. But stop bitching and moaning, pissing and whining all day long on social media like you're somebody when in all actuality, you're nothing. You don't know anything. You have no experience. You have not read an evidence file. I haven't either. The difference is I don't go out there and say this person's guilty because I read someone's interpretation of an email and say, oh, that's got to be a code word. Therefore, somebody ate a baby on Epstein Island. I'm not going to make a claim like that without evidence because I'm not a jerk, because I'm not reckless with information. It's this simple. If you are making an extraordinary claim without the extraordinary evidence, shut the F up. Well, Sean, what about free speech? I can tell you to shut the F up because I'm not Congress. I'm not the government. The Constitution and the First Amendment restricts government from infringing on free speech. And by the way, making slanderous accusations about somebody without proof is not protected by the First Amendment. Just ask this douchebag, Project Constitution on X, who's getting sued into oblivion by Erica Kirk because he said she worked for Jeffrey Epstein and was full of crap. Listen, you don't have to be a fan of the way Erica's running Turning Point. You might think her behavior's a little sketchy. You may not fall for the grieving widow thing. That's fine. Don't accuse her of recruiting people for Jeffrey Epstein when the person on the audio that you're sharing has already been proven to be someone else. And this is why when I say the mainstream media still has power and influence, because we were given the football and we just fumbled it and handed it away because some people were motivated by clicks and pushed nonsense all day long and made things up because of the instant gratification factor, the dopamine hit. I'm going to go out, I'm going to BS to my audience, I'm going to make up crap because I know they're going to eat it up. And if I tell them, well, I don't know, but I know, they'll come back tomorrow at 5 o'clock and tune into the podcast because they think they're getting some sort of inside scoop. When I'm full of crap, full of absolute crap. So to the outrage addicts that are out there, you think you got some piece of information that nobody else has? You think you got some scoop that nobody else has? You think you're in possession of some sort of convincing piece of evidence that can lead to the arrest and conviction of somebody who you think committed some of the most heinous crimes in the history of humanity? Then share it either with the public if you've tried to share it with the government and they're not acting on it, or shut up and don't say anything until you can prove what you're saying. And reasonable people would look at that and say, okay, I agree with what you're saying. That's a pretty nasty thing. That's pretty conclusive evidence. Because if not, all you're doing is creating noise and distracting everybody from the signal and what we need to focus on doing. These people, Candace Owens, Tehran Tucker, Owen Schroyer, Elijah Schaffer, the Haji twins, they don't know anything more than any one of you that's watching this show right now. They don't know a thing. They don't have any hidden knowledge. Oh, well, we're noticing patterns. You're not noticing anything. You're noticing nothing. We're noticing the pattern. The pattern is you make a sensational claim, you string people along for a week or two, your sensational claim gets debunked, you make another sensational claim, and you do the exact same cycle with your audience. You're like a drug dealer. Here, try this. This will make you feel good. Oh, you're over that? Try this one now. This will make you feel good. Oh, you're over that? Hey, try this one now. That'll make you feel even better. I'm done, folks, with that. It is better to be right than first. And for the people who have been over the course of the last couple of years, came out, make these crazy claims, and then weeks later you find out they were full of crap, you got to turn them off. And stop wasting your time. Your time is too valuable to be wasted on BS. And I promise you, I will never waste your time here. Did Chuck Norris die?
It looks like
hold on. Go ahead.
It looks like it's confirmed everywhere.
I know that he went to the hospital not too long ago. Let me see.
In
here.
Hawaii.
Let's see. Let me just double check this here. Chuck Norris.
So in his honor, we're all doing the Chuck Norris jokes.
Yes, let's see.
Those are
here.
my favorite. I love Chuck Norris
Chuck
jokes.
Norris hospitalized after medical emergency. Died March. This on Google, the Google says he died March 20th, 2026 at 86 years old. Yeah. The family is confirming. That sucks. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. And that sucks.
Yeah. Death finally got the courage to ask him. And he said, okay, fine.
He's all right. 86, a good run. It's a good run. All right. Let's, we're going to go into James Comey. James Comey's in some hot water. We are going to go into, let's see, what do I have here? I totally forgot because I just came in hot. James Comey, 6 billionaires fleeing the state of California. Donald Trump flipped some allies, who originally said they weren't going to help with the Strait of Hormuz. Now they are going to help with the Strait of Hormuz. A couple of illegal aliens, some big, violent illegals. I know we love going through them with the names, right? So we're going to do a little of that today. And live calls in the second half of the show, 631-527-4545, 631-527-4545. All right. Let us start here with a word from our friends at OFP Farms. Am I clear on, by the way, am I clear on how I feel about the outrage addicts and the grifters and
I think so.
I think so, right?
I think so.
Guys, I want you to understand something. And I know sometimes we're harsh and I yell and I get kind of crazy and we have some moments, but I want you to understand that the 2,000 plus that are in here every day, that I really appreciate your time. And the folks that come here and watch the solo stream later, and the folks that listen on audio, and some of the folks that comment on these other platforms. I am honored. I am humbled by the fact that you give me an hour of your day 5 days a week. I don't take that for granted, and I don't take that lightly. And so I don't want to see you or people you know or people who could be helpful to us in this movement to waste their time. I'm not telling you have to watch me. I'm not telling you go into so-and-so's chat and tell them to come into. I'm not saying that, okay? This isn't about me or my show or my numbers. It matters to me, but that's not what I'm saying here. I don't want to see people wasting their time getting duped and getting caught on this fish hook that is outrage addiction. And a lot of people are. I'm not saying you can't be upset over some things. I'm not saying you have to be 100% in lockstep and wave pom-poms over everything the administration is doing. But if you want realistic outcomes, you have to start with realistic possibilities here, okay? And my main thing with this Epstein stuff is they're like, how come nobody's been arrested? Great question. My counter to that, to facilitate a conversation, is who do you want arrested? What charge? You don't have to give me the statute. Just, child rape. Fine. You want so-and-so arrested for raping a child. Here's the evidence. I never get a name. And then they go, well, that's because it's being covered up. What's being covered up? You know something that exists in the files that's being covered up? You know where I could find that evidence? Or do you think it's behind that black rectangle? Do you think it's being covered up? Because we did this with Massey and Kana. They thought that 4 pedophiles were being redacted in the Epstein files, and they were innocent people. That's that hidden knowledge scam coming back again. Oh, well, the reason why I can't give you the evidence is because it's being covered up. Well, that's freaking convenient. Imagine doing that in a real world thing. Well, the reason why I can't pay my bills is because it magically, the money that I need to pay the bills magically vanished from my bank account, and so I don't have it. But cut me some slack. I'll pay you. No, that's not how this works. Please don't waste your time with these grifters, folks. I'm trying to call them out. I want to eventually move away from doing that. I think it's a problem that needs to be addressed now. I don't want to continue having to call people out on X. I'd like to take the fight to the left. But these people need to be called out for the frauds, phonies, and scam artists that they are. They don't know anything more than you know. They don't have any access. They don't have any information that you don't have. They look at something, an entire case file. They cherry pick different nuggets of information. Some of them may independently be verified. Some of it isn't. They draw conclusions. They tell you, they imply they know something. And then when you press them, oh, do you have the evidence? No, well, I'm just asking questions. Give me a break. Give me a break. Happy first day of spring. All right. Quick break here. Let's get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. OFP Farms is preparing to unveil their most exquisite box yet in honor of America's 250th birthday. You could pre-order the America 250 box today at OFPFarms.com and secure this stunning limited edition box at a 20% off discount by using the code America250. The beautiful box features their finest packaging, premium products, alongside custom design elements, ensuring you will not find a more stunning box anywhere else. To pre-order your box, simply scan the QR code on the screen, which I'll put on the screen for you right now, or visit OFPFarms.com. That's Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms.com. QR code, bottom right-hand portion of your screen. Scan that. Promo code America250, 250, America250 for 20% off the pre-order, or promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 10% off of everything else on the website, like the Goat Kisses Lip Balm. I saw someone in Zach's chat just before Misfits chat saying, try OFP Farms beard oil. It is good. It's good stuff. It is. The Outlaw Beard Oil. OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. Get in while the getting's good. That's OFPFarms.com. All right, let's get to a word also from our friends over at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFATV, TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Folks, you guys know I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, enhance my skin and hair radiance. We're talking about gut health, all those good things. Armor Colostrum. I have been taking colostrum for the last couple months now, and I have had very, very good results. It's Armor Colostrum, tryarmor.com/LFATV. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life and contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Check it out. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Try, T-R-Y, Armra, ARMRA.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. For up to 30% off of your first order. It's tryarmor.com/LFATV. Redneck in the chat says he's got the OFP Farms Outlaw Beard Balm. Says it makes him feel ungovernable. We love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Let's get into some, I'll say good news in that it's interesting, right? It's definitely interesting. Let's see. By the way, update over on SCOTUS blog. I think we're going to shut down the live blog for today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back at the latest for the birthright citizenship argument on April 1st. Okay. Looks like no Voting Rights Act ruling came down today. So there you go. We will shut down SCOTUS blog, but it's always interesting to keep an eye out on days like this. James Comey in some hot water over the Russiagate conspiracy. There is a grand jury that is conducting an investigation, well, as the grand jury has been impaneled as a component of this investigation into the Russiagate conspiracy, right? Spygate, Russiagate, the fact that they raided Mar-a-Lago and it concerned some of this, allowed them to conduct this investigation in Florida. Judge Eileen Cannon's district, I believe, when it comes to these federal judges. If you remember Judge Eileen Cannon, one of the fairest judges in the Trump lawfare saga back in 2024. James Comey being subpoenaed over the Russiagate conspiracy. Now it's going on in Florida. So a totally different jurisdiction than what we'd seen in like Northern Virginia, the D.C. area. The Justice Department has subpoenaed former FBI Director James Comey over his involvement in the 2017 intelligence community assessment on Russian interference in the 2016 election. Comey and former CIA Director John Brennan were already the subjects of criminal investigations. Those inquiries examined alleged misconduct related to the drafting of the 2017 Intelligence Community Assessment and the possibility that false statements were made to Congress. The 2017 assessment issued January 6, 2017 concluded that Russia sought to influence the 2016 election to benefit Donald Trump. However, a later declassified review identified procedural anomalies that said the process was rushed, raising long-standing concerns about the report's credibility. This was, remember Mike Davis, he's out there talking about it. John Solomon was out there saying there's a grand jury that's been impaneled in Florida. So the one that, that we saw with Letitia James and James Comey and those cases got tossed, they're not out of the woods yet. So here, let me go ahead and play this for you. This is, I just have the audio here, but this is from, actually, I could probably put the video up on, this was MS Now reporting on this. Take a listen and a watch.
Coming into focus since we've been on the air, the former director of the FBI, Jim Comey, has reportedly been subpoenaed in that wide-ranging grand conspiracy case that they're trying to assemble against anyone who ever investigated and sought to prosecute Donald Trump. We'll get to that.
That's not, see, the disingenuous framing. You know who does a lot of that disingenuous framing, by the way? The woke right. Oh, yeah, it's a war for Israel. Is there anything that's not for Israel? The answer is no. It's very easy to have a boogeyman that you blame everything on. Who else does that? Let me think.
Owens.
Watch. Well, hold on. Yes, but let's go 30,000 feet. So Candace, Taliban Tucker, all these guys, Doha, Dave Smith, they always say it's the Jews. The Jews are responsible for everybody's problems. Who else, what other large group of people has one source of all of their problems?
The gays.
Well, no. The gays have, no, I'm not saying. What group of people likes to blame the
Democrats.
The Democrats. And who do they blame or what do they blame?
Trump. Sorry, okay.
There you go. You got it. The way that my question was asked was not clear. She did a good job. So cut her some slack. The gays! What'd the gays do to you?
They hate conservatives.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, not all gays, because the gay conservatives don't.
There's some gay conservatives out there. Some good ones. Democrats. Yes, they blame Trump. Trump derangement syndrome, Israel derangement syndrome. Again, folks, and I had a conversation with one of these guys on X yesterday because he first came in my comments and was like, criticizing Israel is not anti-Semitism. And I said, I checked his page first, and he does not go after Jews. He just doesn't like the Israeli government. Folks, I don't have a problem with that. You want to criticize Bibi Netanyahu for whatever reason, you have an opinion about him, you don't like him, by all means. You want to say that the government of Israel and the laws over in the nation of Israel are too liberal and too socially liberal? They're not. Fine. The problem is that most people, not all, some people make this argument honestly, and I have no problem. I may not agree with all their criticisms about Israel, right? But if you are quite literally just criticizing the policy, the laws, the politics, the leadership of the government of Israel, I don't care. And no, that is not anti-Semitism. It's not. However, 95+% of those who are doing that, when they can't convince the person that they're talking to to agree with them about their criticisms of the government of Israel immediately cross the line into anti-Semitism. And then they start in with, well, you're just a filthy Jew and you're a shill and you're taking shekels and you're doing, and then now you're being anti-Semitic, because now it's not just about Israel. Now it's about anybody who's Jewish or has motivations to defend anybody who may or may not be Jewish. Okay? I don't know where I was going with all that. I was going somewhere. Or I think I just got sidetracked because we were talking about James Comey. James Comey has been subpoenaed in that grand jury investigation that's going on in Florida right now. As you heard, MS Now, they are very panicked over that. Last July, Fox News reported that then CIA Director John Ratcliffe submitted a criminal referral for John Brennan to the FBI after he declassified internal documents showing Brennan pushed for inclusion of the Steele dossier in the intelligence community assessment. Those documents stated that the CIA consensus had viewed the dossier as unreliable internet rumor. The referral led FBI Director Kash Patel opening parallel investigations into John Brennan and James Comey. The declassified, quote, lesson learned review found that the inclusion of the dossier ran counter to fundamental tradecraft principles and ultimately undermined the credibility of a key judgment. It also said that the process diverted from standard intelligence protocols. What's being investigated now is whether or not this was a coordinated conspiracy. And folks, I mean, the overwhelming amount of evidence or that is open source, publicly available, would suggest that this was a well-coordinated conspiracy against Donald Trump. I believe heavily that this was I believe, based off of books I've read, Spygate from Dan Bongino, we've got the infographic, Epoch Times, all their reporting they did on Spygate, Russiagate, back in this time frame, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, etc., the Mueller investigation. I believe that this was a well-coordinated conspiracy from the highest levels of our government to take down Donald Trump. I believe that. I want to see accountability for that. But here's the thing. I also understand this, that unless we have access, we being the Department of Justice and folks who want to see accountability, the public may not have access to it yet, but the investigators have the power to gain access to that information via grand jury subpoenas. Unless there is evidence that exists that will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that what I believe, what we all believe about Russiagate is the truth, again, beyond a reasonable doubt, then these people are, then they're not going to go to jail. And I know the argument is, well, the left, they break the rules, they get away with it. That's because they're entrenched in all these levels of the judicial system as well. You know for a fact, guys and gals, that if every I is not dotted, every T is not crossed, every punctuation mark is not in the right place, if the grammar's off, if there's too many spaces between a period and the next word, if the first letter of a sentence isn't capitalized, if somebody's name is spelled wrong, if the city, it doesn't belong to this, if there's any sort of abnormalities or anomalies in the filings here, you know what will happen, right? It will be completely shut down. Those are the rules that, unfortunately, we have to play by. I don't like it, but it is what it is. That's the reality. We can't change the reality overnight. It's going to take time. All right. It's a good start to see that Comey has to answer these questions. That's it. I'm not saying that, here we go, he's going to Gitmo. I don't do that. I hope we see accountability in this case. And I do think we're going to see some accountability in this case. And I've maintained that for a while. And I hope I'm right. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I hope I'm right. All right. I'm going to take a breath. Let me take a look at the chat. What do we got? Everybody okay in the chat today? We good?
We're good.
All right. It looks like it.
Chuck Norris jokes.
Chuck Norris jokes. All right.
Making fun of you.
Making fun of who?
You.
Making fun of me? What I do?
Just because you're a little keyed up.
Because I came in hot today?
The Sean Equinox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Equinox. Yeah.
Sean has a lot of caffeine in his coffee this morning.
There was a lot of caffeine in the coffee this morning. We have this Peruvian coffee, which has to be illegal. There's got to be illicit drugs in it. All right, a quick break. Let's get to a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. And I promise I will not mute it and keep my mic open this morning. Take a listen.
I'm sure by now you've heard that silver went up 160% last year, 2025. I bought this silver for $22 an ounce. It's now worth almost $100. And we and experts think that silver is going to get up to about $200 an ounce. Palladium and platinum were stuck at $900 an ounce for like over a year, or in that area. Now they're up over $2,000. Gold is approaching $5,000 an ounce. If you have ever thought about putting some or all of your retirement or nest egg or savings or just buying bullion in precious metals, now's the time to do it. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. That's goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Go leave your name, your email, and your phone number. Schedule a time to talk to the folks over at Golden Crest Metals. Get your free gold guide today, and make sure you tune in on Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Crest Report, where we dive deep into precious metals, why they're doing what they're doing, and where we expect them to go. It is like insider trading. Nancy Pelosi knows about that. We don't. It's just inside information. It's not even really that. It's called knowledge. Get yours today and get a part of gold, silver, palladium, and platinum and diversify your portfolio today. goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
I got a comment in the chat, a couple comments in the chat about this coffee. So Mark's Madness is like, I'm going to place an order on it. It's Mount Comfort Coffee. It's a whole bean Peruvian. CQ in the chat made me laugh, said, don't sensationalize the coffee. You have to prove it. I think I'm living proof of how crazy this coffee is. That's number 2. All right. That was a funny comment. And good morning to you, Trumpian. I see you out there. Hope you're feeling good today. Hope everybody's having a good, come on, redneck. Chuck Norris counted to infinity. Twice. I love it. I love that. All right. Infinity 1. Remember when you were a kid? Infinity 2. I remember there was a time where like everybody in our school, like when we were like 5 or 6, thought 100 was the biggest number. And then I came in one day and I was like, 1,000. Ooh. And then we're like, whoa. How'd you get that? I added another 0. I multiply 100 by 10. All right. Here we go. Real quick on this Joe Kent situation, by the way. All right. You heard about obviously everyone's heard about the Joe Kent thing at this point. I just want to, I'm going to be as unbiased as I can because full disclosure. Okay. Full disclosure. I met Joe a couple years ago. He was very nice to me. We sat at the same table at an event that I went to and performed at in Washington State. Matter of fact, our good friend, the Nun Report, won a ukulele at that event. That's actually hanging on his wall in his studio. Okay? He knows Joe. I don't like what I'm seeing from Joe Kent, but as I mentioned before, innocent until proven guilty. Okay? Innocent until proven guilty. Now, a law enforcement source, again, this is one of these things, anonymous sources. So what I'm saying here, I'm not saying that I believe this as the gospel that I've independently verified. I'm saying this, okay? This is from AG Hamilton 29. A law enforcement source said that FBI agents had determined that Joe Kent shared secret government information with disaffected, quote-unquote, MAGA media figures like Tucker Carlson. A second administration official said that Joe Kent leaked classified information from a server to a member of the media. Now, I don't know if all that is true. I'm not telling you that all that is true. There's going to be a process that plays out. Charges have not been filed yet. Okay? If and when charges are filed, Joe Kent will have the opportunity to defend himself of those charges. But I'm going to say this. I don't care your ideology. I don't care what worldview you align with. I don't care what political party you're affiliated with. Right, left, up, down, middle, or what planet you're from. None of that matters. If you work for the government or anybody and you distribute and leak classified information to podcasters, the media, whatever, that is illegal. That is potentially dangerous and could put a lot of people in harm's way, both home and abroad. So no matter who it is, no matter who they voted for, no matter what president they serve under, no matter what what worldview they align with, Zionist, anti-Zionist, pro-Israel, anti-Israel, pro-Muslim, anti-Muslim, liberal, conservative, if you are leaking classified information, that is illegal. And if it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in court that you did that, you deserve to be held accountable. Your actions have consequences. I'm not trying to convict Joe Kent before he's had his day in court. I'm telling you, the information that's out there right now doesn't look good. And I'm telling you that this is what standards look like. We were upset when Alexander Vindman did it. He got a pardon. We're upset when Mark Milley did it. He got a pardon. We were upset when John Bolton did it. He got indicted. And we should be upset if Joe Kent did it. He's not being targeted because of anything he said about Israel. He's not being targeted because he resigned. He's being targeted because allegedly he leaked classified information to Tucker Carlson or other members of the new media, whatever you want to call it. That's illegal. That is a crime. You can't do that. If he did that and it can be proven, again, charges haven't even been filed, he deserves to be held accountable. Right? Because nobody is above the law. I hope he didn't do it. I hope it's all a big misunderstanding. I hope no troops were put in harm's way. I hope no information was mishandled. I hope Joe Kent is innocent, and this is all just one big misunderstanding and difference of opinion on a few different issues. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case here. But we will see. There will be a process. This is a constitutional republic where everybody who is accused of a crime has the right to an attorney and the right to defend themselves. We don't convict people on opinions here, right? And I think we would want the same thing, the same rights given to us and honored if we were put in that situation. Okay, so there's that. I don't know enough about the situation to give you an opinion. Bongino yesterday was very fired up. He has more information than I do. He dealt with this on a day-to-day basis. He was able to personally contradict some of the things that Kent was saying. I can't do that. So I'm just telling you, this is where I am in the process. If it's proven that he leaked classified information, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, that's wrong. And if it's wrong, there should be consequences. All right. We're gonna move on to this one out of California. How about it? 6 billionaires flee California, which took $27 billion in wealth taxes with them. Now, again, I'm not trying to go, pat on the back, but haven't we been saying this is going to be the case in these blue states for years now? You go back to 2023. Remember the succession of events here, right? When the corporations leave, the jobs leave. When the jobs leave, the people leave. When the people leave, the money leaves. When the money leaves, the city falls, right? Because now there's no residents to tax. There's no businesses to tax. There's no commerce to, not that there's no, but there's less. You're losing that tax base. Kathy Hochul admitted that. The bucktooth Botox bandit of Buffalo admitted that the other day with Politico, saying that you are losing the competition, New York is, with other states with a lower tax burden. This is why we say competition drives down prices. If I have this phone, okay? If I have this phone and I'm selling this phone for $1,000, but Brennan is selling the exact same phone for $800, who are you going to go get the phone from? You're going to go to Brennan because Brennan's selling it for a more affordable price. What's that going to force me to do? It's going to force me to be competitive and lower my price. Kathy Hochul's not doing that. Kathy Hochul's saying, no, go bring these people back and tell them it's their patriotic duty to pay their taxes in New York. What? Duty. California doing the same thing with this wealth tax. And I told you, I cite this story, David Tepper out of New Jersey. One man left the state of New Jersey in 2016 and forced the entire state to have to redo their whole budget because he took his wealth with him and they could no longer access it through taxes. California. Google founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin left for Miami, as well as venture capitalist Peter Thiel. Former Uber CEO Travis Kalanick has left for Texas. Don Hankey, a car loan magnate, left for Las Vegas. Famed director Steven Spielberg moved to New York City, which, I mean, he's paid taxes there, but not in California, with representatives claiming he moved to be closer to family. All 6 left the state before the proposed initiative's January 2026 cutoff. Per Fortune magazine, these 6 billionaires out of the state's 214 billionaires would have brought in a collective $27 billion under the proposed tax that would levy a one-time tax on the net worth of residents with assets worth at least $1 billion. Page's net worth would have brought the state $13 billion just himself, while Sergey Brin would be forced to fork over $12 billion. Thiel, Kalanick, and Hankey combined would have brought in an additional $1.775 billion. They're all not in the state anymore. What are you going to do? And Kathy Hochul's on her hands and knees begging. What you going to do? Can't do much of anything. Can't do much of anything. All right. Let's get ready for some cold. Wow. How is it 9:50? How is it 10:50 already? Holy smokes.
This happens every week.
I know. Some weeks it's like a tough, but wow. All right, here we go. 631-527-4545, 631-527-4545. If you want to call in, chime in. We would love to hear from you. We got to get to a word from our friends over at Silent. That is slnt.com/Sean, silent.com/SHAWN. Folks, let's face it, your phone is a tracking device between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even those pesky cyber criminals. They're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they don't ask. They don't ask. They just go on and take it. That is why Silent exists. They make Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams around the world, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, that is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. All you've got to do, folks, is drop your phone in a silent Faraday sleeve, and it's off the grid, completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbody, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Just visit slnt.com/Sean. Save 15% and get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is slnt.com/SHAWN. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com. Say it with me, everybody. Silence! It's a chaos. Go silent today. slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/SHAWN. Hit that thumbs up button for Mo. We're closing in. 631-527-4545. We have a call connecting right now. And it is connected. Hello. I think I know who we have, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. Who do we have on the line here?
Well, I know it's been a minute since
It's conservative autumn. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. What's up? How are we doing?
I'm pretty good. How about you guys?
I'm a little keyed up this morning, but we're doing well otherwise. What's happening? Happy first day of spring.
Yeah, happy first day of spring to you guys. I just wanted to say I saw you on the Bongino show, and you did really good.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a thrill to be able to do that. The second show that I did, I was way more comfortable than the first time. First time I was a little nervous, but the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. We appreciate everybody's support, so thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, anything else on your mind, Gracie?
No, just wanted to say I saw you on the Bongino show, and you did really awesome.
Well, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate that. I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the start of spring.
You guys, too.
All right. Thank you. Gracie, conservative autumn. We love her. She's a fantastic person. Holy cow. I've lost my voice screaming and yelling. 631-527-4545. While we wait for a call to come in, here is Kash Patel, director of the FBI, announcing a 490% surge in online child predators. Now, I'm told that the FBI is covering for pedophiles. If that's the case, why is this happening?
Under the Trump administration, this FBI has literally had a historic year. We have 112% increase in violent offenders arrested last year alone, a 20% decrease in homicides, 20% decrease in robberies. We have disrupted 1,800 criminal gangs. That's a 210% increase. We've seized enough fentanyl to kill 178 million Americans. That's a 31% increase. We have gone after the most vulnerable in our society, protecting children, a 490% increase in arrests on those that prey on our children online. We have located, found, and identified 6,200 missing kids. That's a 30% increase. We have dismantled and taken down 1,700 child predators. That's a 17% increase. And those that wish to traffic our young American citizens and women, 300 human traffickers have been arrested. That's a 15% increase. And seven of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world have been apprehended in the last 13 months. To put that into perspective, there was 4 in the prior 4 years. So this FBI under President Trump is fully stocked to get after every single fight we have, and these are just some of the statistics. So I think.
So I thought he was covering for pedophiles. Why if he was covering for pedophiles did he have a almost 5-fold increase in arresting child predators online? Just asking questions. All right, let's go to Heather in Kansas City. What's up, Heather? How you doing? Happy spring, happy pollen season, the great pollination of 2020. No, I'm just kidding. It's been rough a little bit. Okay, very good. Happy early birthday, but we'll remember that this coming Monday. March Madness, yeah. Who's your team? Who are you rooting for? Did you fill out a bracket? Who are you rooting for? Rock Chalk Jayhawk, huh? Yeah. Okay, that's okay. There you go. Oh, shoot. You're muted. I'm so sorry. I had the thing up. Yes, Heather was muted. So go ahead and give me 30,000 feet. I'm having issues with my sound all day today. So there you go. Try again. Goodness. So Heather's a Rock Chalk Jayhawk fan. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's going to be about 86 degrees here this weekend. So that'll be nice. So
very nice.
Have some fun.
Very good.
But I want to tell Brendan that I love her little bee. We got to think of a name for the little guy. So.
I think we're naming him Jesus.
Well, we thought about that, but it hasn't
Margarito, Antonio, Gonzalez, Guacamole, Ricardo, right? 5 names, right?
I like Hank.
You like Hank?
You know, like after Hank Williams. I'm sure Hank done it this way. Yeah. Little Hank. Hank's a cool name. Jesus is cool, but I mean, he doesn't look like a Jesus to me.
No, he's not Hispanic.
No. How about
a sweet
Chuck
old man.
Norris name? Like
Chuck Norris? You can name him Chuck Norris? Yeah. No. Well, we could do Chuck Norris, I guess, maybe.
I like Hank.
Bees don't sting Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris stings bees.
That's a good one.
Yeah. There it is.
But he's so cute. She's so brave. I don't think I could do that, but she's very brave.
Well, he doesn't have a stinger, does he?
No, the male carpenter bees do not have stingers.
He's kind of cool. He's just kind of hanging out there, just kind of chilling, this bee. So
he's so cute, though.
The cats kind of get a little worked up over it, though. But that's,
say, how are they? I got a quick story. Just be cautious. My mom and my stepdad went to go clean the cage of the bird one time, and they found feathers in one of the dog's mouth because they took the bird out, and they had eaten the bird.
They ate the whole bird?
They ate the bird, yes. And
no.
So it was your dog. No, it was your dog that did it.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, so do you still have a bird?
It's my mom. She has a new one now.
What kind of bird is it?
Maybe just a little cockatoo, maybe just an itty-bitty one.
Okay.
I think it's Tweety is the name now, or Sylvester, one of those.
I like birds. They're cool. Nice.
Yeah. Maybe I should get a parrot, and then I can teach it to say Trump stuff. And
Well, yeah, if you get a parrot, I'll come out to Kansas City for a weekend and I'll teach it how to sound like Trump, So your bird can be saying fake news all day long, fake news.
That would be awesome, right?
Yeah, we'll do it.
I also wanted to say, I don't know if you heard that ABC actually did something right and they pulled The Bachelorette last
Yeah,
night
because
with that
the lady in there's a lunatic. She threw a bar stool at her husband.
Yeah,
and hit her kid.
daughter.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives just to kind of see the craziness, and she's crazy in there too. So I'm thankful they did the right thing. So,
Yeah, that lady's nuts. So, all right, they pulled it. Well, thank you, Heather, for the call, and appreciate it. Sorry you're muted in the beginning, but we got you unmuted halfway through there. There you go.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you, Heather. Heather from Kansas City. She's great. Yeah. I had it muted, I'll tell you a little, because I played the Kash Patel clip, and I didn't want it to echo, so I left the second audio source muted and then forgot to unmute when the call came in. All right, real quick, did you see this? Brennan, put your headphones on.
Oh, God.
You got to hear this one.
Sorry.
You might have seen it, but did you see Trump with the Japanese Prime Minister yesterday with Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, and he was like, well, you didn't tell
You didn't tell me about it. Yeah, watch this. Here we go. Little feel-good Friday way to kind of end up the show. Look at this.
Of course, no, Japan and U.S. are very good friends, but one question, why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? He's asking me, do you believe in surprise? I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out the first 2 days. We probably
you didn't tell me about Pearl Harbor. By the way, happy belated birthday to Redneck in the chat. He said his birthday was Monday. We weren't live on Monday. We had Chase Bose on Monday. So happy belated birthday to Redneck. He's a tremendous guy. We got some trolls over there on the X chat, by the way. There it is, right? Saying AIPAC sucks isn't anti-Semitic. No, it isn't. But when you focus only on AIPAC, I have to call into question why that's the only pack that you don't like. And people are like, because they're Jews. Now that's anti-Semitic. Robert Sundberg, I don't know who that is. You're an apologist for a political movement that was hijacked by a foreign government. It's pathetic, dude. Robert Sundberg. There he is. It's the Jews. Everything's the Jews. Everything's the Jews. Your meal was undercooked in the restaurant. Definitely a rabbi that did it. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I guess I don't think there's any boys and girls here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. Jeremy Harrell is up next. I don't want to go too long today. So in the words of your favorite president, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Friday. We'll see a few of you guys and gals later at Wilson County's Trump Day dinner. Busy weekend for Brennan and I again, as we'll be out volunteering for Kenneth Barrett here in Rutherford County over the weekend, knocking on some doors and doing some events with that great team and family as well. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will be back here Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, rumble.com/LFA TV. Hit the follow button, hit the like button, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast by searching for Ungoverned, and we'll see you next week. Jeremy Harrell up next.